my head. Okay, here we are. We set a record with heat yesterday. We're gonna set another one today. And then a cool front with a line of thunderstorms comes in on Friday. So our temperatures will go back to normal. Because apparently normal for this time of year is our lows should be in the 40s and our highs should be in the 60s. Our lows are in the 60s and our highs are in the 80s. It's not good. Okay, we're doing a new design for living. So let's do the housekeeping really quickly and then we'll move on. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That gets you one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot. So it'll either take you right to the information or the person that can help you get it. And it is a blind CC. Nobody's going to see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. And when I say one email a week, I mean it because it's a real person doing it. He doesn't have time for more than that. The only reason you would get another one is if something unusual happens, which I like to point out, we do live on the Gulf Coast, is usually weather related. So, it doesn't happen often. Our weather is interesting, but not that interesting. Although it is interesting enough that I do mention it. So, here we are. Because right now I'm complaining about the highs. Yeah. It's not supposed to be 80 degrees. Like, I might have to turn my air conditioner on. I had my air conditioner on in December. I don't want to turn my air conditioner on in January. But we'll see. All right. Okay. I also need to mention the social medias, and merely from the standpoint, we do not monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to engage with the pages. Go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on. If you allow notifications, then it lets you know when we go live or when we upload new videos. And then engage with the individual posts. I was like, where? Okay. Engage with the individual post by reacting to the post, commenting on the post, sharing the post. It bumps us in the algorithms. We think we have good tools to share. We hope you agree with us. And this is a free, easy way you can support the center. All it costs you is a click. All right. So we are doing a new design for living, which is, I believe, Ernest Holmes' process. It was one of it was towards the end of his career. And I think that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to set down this process that you can go through in Science of Mind to really make, significant changes in your life experiences. So, that is what we are doing here. And let's see here. We are currently in chapter 3. Don't limit yourself. And we are going to do, one of them short and the other one's reasonable. So we're going to do 2 sections. Things can change, short. So let's do that one. Things can change. We need have no concern over the fact that the law of mind in action, when motivated, may produce sickness or health, poverty or abundance, happiness or unhappiness. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. These things it cannot do of its own accord. Okay. I was like, wait, what? What? Okay. So, these things it cannot do of its own accord. So when motivated, basically, when we get involved in the process, it can produce sickness or health, poverty or abundance, happiness or unhappiness, but it can't do it of its own accord. That's what he's saying. It would have been nice if he had started that way, but okay. The thought has to come first. Whether we like it or not, this is the way things are. This is the way the law of mind works. But we should rejoice in this knowledge, for it means that things can change. That there is no law of its own accord deliberately imposes unwanted situations or conditions on us. We do not have to resign ourselves to a fate not of our liking. Nothing prescribes that we endure trial and tribulation except our own thinking. If this were not the case, we would be only automatons, robots, senseless mechanical organisms. We are individuals. We do have a mind. We do think. We do have consciousness. We do have the power of choice to choose to exercise the creative power of our thought for our good, a choice and a power that is inherent within us. All right, so things can change. Here's that ray of hope. Things can change if we change our mind and change our patterns. Okay? Because it's not just about changing your mind. It is also about changing your actions. But the first thing you got to do is change your mind. Okay, so now we're going to do the way law works. No law ever takes the initiative. It can't. It isn't the nature of any law to do so. A law describes an action within our ability adequately to describe the action. In dealing with the physical world, when scientists have proved time and time again that certain things result when certain other things are done, they define the action that occurs in terms of law. A law explains how cause leads to effect. Okay, that's good to know. Actually, there's no difference between cause and effect. One just precedes the other. Similarly, we say there is no difference between thought and thing, but the way of one becoming the other is defined as law. And the relationship that exists between one state and the other, and the process of that relationship being established, is always the same. Never varying, it is law. The way things work, not a causative factor in and of itself. Okay. I think that one's really important, but it's kind of confusing, and so now I'm like, okay. It's also a really long sentence. So, all right. Whew. For this reason, we cannot say of things which do appear in our experience that some were the result of the operation of a force of evil in our lives, or that others were the result of some particular benevolent activity in our favor. If there is law in the universe at all, if there is one creative power back of all things, a power that could not be divided against itself, then we find that what may occur to us in any way is but the result of our use of that power. Have we used it wisely? No. Have we used it unwisely? No. Wait. I don't know what's going on here. I'm confused. Okay. That is the result of our use of that power. That is the result of our use of that. Have we used it wisely? But regardless of the fact that we may have previously used it unwisely, okay, that's where I got confused. The words are literally right under each other. Okay. Okay, but regardless of the fact that we may have previously used it unwisely, we are in no way obligated to continue to do so. We think that all the time. We can change the pattern of our thinking, and the response of the law to the new pattern of thought will be just as sure as it was to the old. The only a new effect that corresponds to the new thought will result. Okay. I know what he's saying here. And I'd like to think that I can explain it better, but I don't think I can, but okay. We can change the pattern of our thinking, and the response of the law to the new pattern of thought will be just as sure as it was to the old, only the new effect will correspond to the new thought, and a new thought will result. So basically, however we use it, that's the result we're going to get. So if we use it wisely, we are going to get the desired result. If we use it unwisely, we are going to get an undesired result. Because we are not making the best of it. We're not thinking clearly. When we think messy, then the law goes, okay, and hands us a mess. So, all right. Let's see. So, Maurice Maeterlinck concisely expressed this idea when he wrote, "Nothing befalls us that is not of the nature of ourselves. There comes no adventure, but wears to our soul the shape of our everyday thought." Our everyday thoughts. Okay, yep. When we come to understand the way in which thought produces our experience, we awake to the fact that we should be exceedingly careful that nothing enters or is retained in our consciousness except that which is good. And I like that he says, or is retained. It would be nice if we could keep all of the negative thoughts out, but that is really hard. And it's hard for two reasons. One, we're human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and negative thoughts happen. It's also, we can be surrounded by fairly negative people. And if we are surrounded by negative people, occasionally they will wear us down, and those thoughts will enter into our consciousness. So the idea is to not retain them, to not entertain them, to not give them our focus, our attention, or our power. Okay? All right. This must always be our final criteria. We need no other, nor need we be concerned with any other person's opinion about it. If our whole desire is to do good, to be helpful, to live constructively, then there is no reason at all why we should not expect to encounter good in every phase of our personal experience. Okay? It doesn't mean we won't have bumps in the road, but for the most part, the good will outweigh the not preferred. When we come to think and act in this way and enjoy the benefits which will ensue, these benefits will in no way deprive another of anything. Rather, the good which results from the creative action of our thought, our own right thought, will not only enhance our experience, but that of those about us. Okay? So the more good we get to experience, the more it will kind of rub off on the people around us. That is one of my favorite things about Science of Mind is whatever good you want, you gotta want it for everybody. Because everybody's gonna benefit from your good. If for no other reason other than you're in a better mood. Right? So you will interact with people differently. And, dare I say, better. We need continually to remind ourselves that there are not two final powers in the universe. There is but one, and it is good. Those things which appear to be destructive or the opposite of good have no final reality in mind or God which would make our experience of them mandatory. Rather, we would seem to be temporarily reaping the undesired result of our wrong and negative use of ideas. Okay? And do bear in mind, if our good does rub off on us, then when we have a negative experience, that is also going to rub off on us. So that is one of those things is, if you're having a negative experience and you're pretty sure that, look around at the people around you. I'm not going to blame them, but I'm going to say you are in relationship with people. And when people are having a bad day, it spreads. When people are having a good day, it spreads. So it is up to us to meet other people's not so great days with our good. To see if we can't at least mitigate it. If we can't waylay it entirely. One of the things about working where I do is people come in after having talked to their doctors, and their doctors are like, well, this, and this. And we're like, okay, you know what? Maybe we can give you some help here. Maybe it doesn't have to be that way. And that's the benefit of being able to do what we do. Is when we know good for ourselves, we know good for everybody. And there's just no two ways about that. And that is amazing. Knowing good for yourself is not selfish. Because when you know good for yourself, You're not taking anything away from anybody else. And in fact, you are encouraging more good for everybody around you. All right? So just know that. When you are doing this, right action, right thought, constructive living, then it benefits everybody. And that's just really cool. Okay. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move on into the process of my day, so I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, you got this day. I don't know, the sun's shining, I'm kind of in a good mood. It's the middle of the week. I'm also hungry, so I need to go deal with that. So have just the day you deserve, Like, I'm in a fantastic mood, so I know that I deserve a good day, and I'm going to have a good day, regardless of what anybody else says about it. So, take care of business day. Take care of yourself day. Make sure you take a break day. Make sure you make time to sit down day. Read something amazing day. Do something fun day, even if it's a very short thing day. You got this day. It'll all get taken care of day. Cuddle your fur babies day. Tell somebody you love them day. Know that it will be okay day, no matter what day. A good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time. Did I say you were a brilliant light and a divine spark? I don't know, but here I'm going to say it again because it's true. And as Reverend Jessie likes to say, and that masterpiece and work in progress, that's your own pace, okay? Don't let anybody rush you on your own masterpiece. Just don't. And as Reverend Jessie likes to say, you are a godling. So, explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all is possible. All right, beloveds. As I said, moving on.